Yeah, but are these presidents not aware of these things that you are saying, Apostle?
They are very aware, Mr.
So how do they gather around Russia? They gather around China. I'm sure China is going to be inviting in the years.
In a few years to come.
Yes, but how do they make us to believe that they are going there not to buy arms or to? Is it to also tell America that we also have an ally this way?
Of course. The truth is, Ruto said once, and I quote, he said, sometimes when they summon us, you don't go, you are in trouble. For the fear of losing your position, you will left with no choice than to obey. I have seen cases where presidents are very old to move around their country. But when summoned by these guys abroad, they will fly, they will take flight and go and make sure that they obey the demands of their master. No matter how tired, weary, and frustrated they are, they go there because why? First and foremost, they are not just securing their relationship with those people, they are equally securing.
They are still in power.
They are still in power. So if you don't go there as a schoolboy, answer to the call of your headmaster, your position is at stake. The next coup d'etat may jeopardize your life. That's it. So you realize that most of them go there out of fear. And that's the reason when they go there, they say the normal things. But a few African leaders who have not been coaxed and manipulated by these guys now have begun to go up there to see how they can present the demands and the worries of the Africans. Like what happened in France recently, it gave me hope and confidence that there's a breed of African leaders rising in this continent that will table what Africa needs. For instance, Ramaphosa said during the COVID-19, we were treated with a lot of disfavor and disdain. And he pointed it clear, and he said, when it was time for them to get the vaccine, most of the nations of the Northern Hemisphere bought all the vaccines, and that created resentment in them. And secondly, he said, when they went to the WTO, that is the World Trade Organization, to demand for them to produce their own vaccine, they faced a lot of resistance. What is the essence of jeopardizing human life at the betterment of their pharmaceutical companies? That's an African leader. For a very long time, we have not heard voices like that. It was in those days we had men like Kwame Nkrumah, Ahmed Sekou Touré, Modibo Keita, who stood in Addis Ababa and made speeches that called the Africans to their reality. We have not had such leaders for a very long time since Muammar Gaddafi departed the surface of this earth. Now we are beginning to see a new breed of leaders coming. My fear is this: these new people are coming. They should not be traitors among them, because if we had men like Ruto, Ramaphosa, and the rest, Haikande Hichilema, behind Gaddafi, there would have been a formidable force to stand against it from eliminating him. Then you see, I don't want this one-man battle, this one-man championship. It's dangerous and it's delicate.
One-man battle. Do African nations, when they go out there, do they go as a continent, or they go as they see themselves as a nation?
It's individuals. Everybody goes to answer the call of his master. And all of those guys don't have the same master. The countries that were colonized by Portugal in Africa, they go to answer the call of the Portuguese. Those who were colonized by France, even if they say it's a France, African summit, or European summit, or American summit, they are going there to answer. The France summit you call, Germany was there. It is called France Africa Summit, but Germany was there. France was there, Britain was there. And every country living in the continent Africa is going to answer yes sir first to their master that colonized them. And then before now, they discuss on the general discussions of the place. But first and foremost, they have to answer to the call of colonial masters. So that tells you that if at all somebody leaves the continent Africa, they are not going unanimously. If not, they would have selected 7 strategic individuals that represent the 54 nations. Why should 54 presidents leave to go and represent Africa? How many American dignitaries come here to represent America? How many Russian dignitaries come here? Sometimes the foreign affairs minister of Russia goes out to manage what 54 African countries fly to go and manage for Africa. What for? Ruto said the last time, he said they have decided in the AU that they should set 7 men at a particular bureau to represent Africa in all international conferences. That is exactly what Magufuli did. When he came to power, he refused attending all these so-called United Nations General Assembly and so stuff. What did he do? What he did was that he had to send the ambassador of Tanzania to represent him in America over any case that concerns Tanzania. Why should we send ambassadors to go and represent the nations that our presidents are being tossed to and fro, left and right? I think the ambassadors of all countries represented in China should represent Africa in the Afro-China Summit. And if there is a summit in France, I think all the ambassadors representing African countries in France should represent Africa there. Not telling President Pobia to get up, Ruto to get up, Ramaphosa to get up, Aikande Ichelema to get up, LCCs to get up, and then all of them fly with 54 different aircraft to go and land. The cost of transporting all those delegations to go there, the hotel reservations, the feeding, is one that can be able to fit more people. And the theme of Africa's AU Summit this 2023 is accelerating the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. How can we accelerate when 54 head of states come with different 54 aircraft and delegations to stay in hotel? If they calculate the cost of what left Africa to attend that summit, it can fit at least 2,000 children dying of hunger in Burundi.